y'all, we are back, we are back, we are back. Hey y'all, we are back, we are back, we are back. Hey y'all, we are back, we are back, we are back. Hey y'all, we are back, we are back, we are back. Hey y'all, we are back, we are back, we are back. Hey y'all, we are back, we are back, we are back. Hey y'all, we are back, we are back, we are back. Hey y'all, we are back, we are back, we are back. Hey y'all, we are back, we are back, we are back. Hey y'all, we are back, we are back, we are back. Hey y'all, we are back, we are back, we are back. Hey, hey, hey. How y'all doing? Hey, T. Can you hear
Hey,
me?
Lissha, how you doing, girl? I
I'm doing
do,
good, girl.
but
I'm doing good.
your mouth is talking, but your mouth is not talking, but I hear you.
Oh, no, my mouth isn't talking, but you hear me?
Yeah, there's a little delay, but we're gonna make it do what it do.
Absolutely, absolutely. Hey y'all, we got a great show for y'all today. Yeah, we a little late. Hey y'all, how y'all doing? We got a good show for today, though. I will say I'm really excited. We have Boss One, who is a Bay Area rapper and producer. He's going to be on with us today. I'm excited about that. And we also have make producer Irving E.P. Pope. He's going to be in here talking about the music industry, talking about his new jazz album that's getting ready to drop. If you guys listen to Let's Chat, we have a pre-version of his music. So we have a we actually have the album.
We have an exclusive.
We have an exclusive. So we have the album. And we're able to play it. So make sure y'all tune in to Let's Chat Radio and be able to listen to some of that great music we have. We also have Keith Robinson's new song, Love Languages, which is from his Love Apostolic 2 that's getting ready to drop as well. And that's exclusive music as well. So we do get a lot of exclusive music. We appreciate everybody that kicks it with us and thinks of us in time of music. Make sure you guys are heading over to Ebony TV so that you guys can catch the replays. If you want to advertise with Let's Chat, that's great. Send your request to thechatradioshow@gmail.com.
Absolutely. Just speaking of music, Leash, we really do have some awesome music. Leash and I are just not lovers of literature, but we love good music. And we so appreciate. Now, we do have our favorites that kind of get into the rotation a little bit more than others. But
absolutely, right.
We do play all our music. And thank you once again from the ladies of Let's Chat to all our musical buddies.
Absolutely, y'all. So listen, y'all know that I always try to share, especially since quarantine, new things. So, I've learned how to braid my hair. But nobody told me about this finger pain thing that I got going on. So, braiding my hair is no longer fun. I mean, it's no longer fun for me because now my finger, it really hurts. It is swollen. I don't know what I feel. It's like I slammed it in the door. It's crazy. I'm like, is this what people go through when they braid hair? I thought I was doing something spectacular. You know me, I'm always doing something. Y'all want to get me something for my birthday? Cool. Give me a tool belt and a toolbox. I like to be like Lissha the Handyman Taylor. I like to do stuff. I like to fix the toilet. I like stuff like that. And so I like to be able to learn. So during this quarantine, I just took the time. I couldn't go get my hair done, so I taught myself how to do my own hair. I can't get my nails done. So my new little friend is this is the Nicole Dairy for the S&S because that's what I keep on my nails. And so I'm gonna do my own.
Well, you know what I did? I learned on this quarantine. I learned some new recipes because Leash, I love to be in the kitchen. So I've been having a test. Have you give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down?
What you been cooking?
Girl, last night I made some honey butter salmon. Now I know you and your fish.
Yeah, I can't eat that.
I know. It was so good. It was so good. And last night, I got my new toy, the Ninja Foodie Grill. I grilled the whole chicken. That was the first time I did that.
How was that?
Let me just reach back and kind of pat myself on the back.
That was good too. Listen, every little fun, little extra tinker thing in my kitchen has been a recommendation from Toni. My next thing is to get a bread maker. Only because I remember growing up, we would go to Vallejo because I'm from California, so we would go to Vallejo and that would be like kind of like a mini family reunion because family would come from out of state and we would go to my aunt's house in Vallejo and she used to make monkey bread.
Oh, I love monkey bread.
And so I'm like, ooh, I could make that in the bread maker. So she tried to explain it to me on how to make it the regular way and I was like,
Too much.
That was too much. It was too much. But
too much.
It was too much. But I was like, if I get a bread maker, I can make that thing go.
Well, at least you already know how I feel about bread. Because when I go visit you for 2 days, I got to get my own whole loaf.
Wait a minute. kind of bread. I like wheat bread. And every time she come here, she be like, "What kind of bread is this? Wheat?
This ain't bread.
This is not bread." She
Girl,
was like,
give
"This
me
is
some.
not bread. This is not bread. What is this?"
Let's
Listen,
go now. I'm like, you knew I was coming, girl. You got to give me some real bread
now
up in the house.
I know when Toni comes here, I have to get her like legit
Potato bread.
potato bread and her Pepsi because she can go on some Pepsi. Let me tell you, see, she can drink some Pepsi up in a hot minute. So I make sure I have her some 2 liters of Pepsi and some snacks.
Not just any Pepsi. You know, I like my. It has to have some diet. I have to have some accountability somewhere, Lissha.
Yes. She has the fake diet Pepsi, which is still regular Pepsi. It's just diet.
It makes the sister feel good. Oh man, oh man. But once again, welcome to Let's Chat. Just so you guys know that Lissha and I, we don't just run our mouths when we gonna get on here. Like we ain't never seen each other, ain't talked to each other in forever.
We talk
But
all
just
the
let y'all
time.
know, I know. For all those that are joining us for the very first time here on Let's Chat, Lissha and I started off about 6, 7 years ago on the radio because we are lovers of literature. But our show has evolved and it involves so much more than just reading. We just love celebrating the dopeness of all the arts. And you're going to get a taste of who our guests are tonight, just the dopeness of what it is that they do. You know, our show allows our listening audience as well as our guests to interact in the fun, friendly, and intimate environment. We get to hear the passion. And now with our Facebook Live, we get to see the passion behind what it is that they do. And you know, Lissha and I get a little passionate as well. So once again, get ready for our Thursday night edition of Facebook Live. We got a great show on tap. We hope
You
you guys
gotta
enjoy it
excuse
as
me.
much as
I
we
gotta
do.
excuse me patting my face, but I got like a whole light show going on up in here. Like I got the ring going, I got the lamp going to make sure I got light. It's just now I'm sweating. You know, remember with Toni, he was like, "Listen, all these lights up here." Now I'm sweating like Toni because it's hot.
Oh, it's too funny. I got my light here right now, but it doesn't generate as much light. And you know, I got that infamous fan going, but I got her hidden because I told her if she wants to be on the show, she got to send her request to the chat radio show at gmail.com. She can't just show up on set. You know, she got to go through the stages.
But you know what? You know what? That comes from I'm doing some things a little differently. I'm moving around a little differently. I'm seeing a lot often in different industries doing different things, and so now I had to learn. You know,
Hmm.
I don't have it all down pat because I don't wear makeup all day every day. As y'all can see, I'm not wearing any today. But you know, I noticed that I have to do certain things depending on what I'm doing. And so I'm trying to make those changes. You know, life is about change. And so I'm trying to fall in line.
I know, I know. Well, you know, I don't wear makeup. All I got on is a little lip gloss. Got my light. We're on live. Let's go.
Absolutely. Well, we have our first fabulous guest. He is a Bay Area rapper and producer and dancer with Styles Element. He actually did our intro to our show. And so we love
Mm.
when he comes in here because he is our hip hop historian. He
Hmm.
literally teaches hip hop history. And so I'm
Okay.
glad for him to come in the chat room and talk with us. We have Boss One in the building. Hey.
Hey, hey, peace.
Hey,
Can you guys hear
how
me
you?
okay?
Yes, we
Yes.
can.
Okay, cool. Because I'm computer illiterate.
I'm right there with you.
Now for those that think we look alike, he is also my brother. My brother is dope in real life. He's super dope in real life. He is. So you gotta
Well,
let us,
welcome.
yes, you gotta let us know what you've been cooking in your creative kitchen since the last time you've been in the chat room.
Um, I basically we're doing a Style Elements anniversary in September. Because of the COVID situation, the b-boy world. Let me be very very clear. When people say hip hop, 9 times out of 10 they're talking about rap. Rap is
Right.
rap.
Hmm.
What we're doing right now is rap.
Mhm.
Back in the day, somebody would be like, "Hey, Foxy Mama, let me rap to you for a second." It didn't mean I was gonna say a bunch of rhymes to you with some boonta boonta music. It just was, like I'm gonna talk to you. And
Mhm.
so hip hop wise, or as far as when you speak to me, I deal with the overall. I deal with all the elements as a combined unit,
Mhm.
i.e., the dance, the writing or style writing, aerosol writing, as well as DJing, as well as MCing. As far as our anniversary or in the b-boy world, as I was saying, because of the COVID situation, you got a lot more dance anniversaries and battles
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
happening online. But what used to happen before the let me get real right off the bat, and I got my drink right
That's
off the
okay.
bat.
We
You know
don't
what I'm saying?
discriminate.
So
Listen, you
y'all
heard
gonna
that
get the real
check?
me.
We don't
Y'all
discriminate.
get
We
the
don't
real me.
discriminate. Whatever you got in the red cup, we want you to come in and be your
Y'all get the
authentic.
real. Y'all get the real me.
That's
Anyway,
all we want.
um, we made it to the other side. You know how they
Mhm.
said it's gonna be a new world
Yeah.
and revelations. Well, we made it to the other side. This the beginning
And
of
a
the
new
new thing.
world. Yeah, yeah.
We I mean, you didn't. I'll tell you right now, your grandparents wouldn't have believed that there'd be a Negro in the White House. We made it past that. Now we got an orange man in the White House. So there you go. We made it to the other side. Um, as far as when we had before this epidemic pandemic thing, I call it the boogeyman virus.
Oh,
Um,
Mhm.
when we had that, um, we would all be going to actual jams, get
Mhm.
togethers. And some of the first earliest things would be like B-Boy Summit, Rocksteady Anniversary, things like that. And you'd have writers, meaning aerosol writers with black books where they'd be, hitting up each other's books. You had dancers, poppers, breakers, lockers, house dancers from all over the world would
Mhm.
come and we'd convey with each other. You had MCs who'd hang with each other, and you had scratch DJs. Let me be very, very clear. When you say a DJ, I know y'all out in the ATL, and maybe there's some people who jigga jigga wiggy wiggy, but that's what kind of DJ I'm talking about. Um, and
Jiggy
so,
jiggy wiggy wiggy.
I
well,
mean,
but me and my brother, we were talking about this, and D Nice has the quarantine. If you guys are on Instagram, check out his Instagram page. But D Nice literally has shown me there are DJs, and then there are DJs. Like
that's
Mhm.
correct.
there's a difference. And before I didn't know that there was a difference. I just figured you just sitting there playing music. But
No.
no, there is a difference between a DJ and then a DJ that's an entertainer. It's a
Mhm.
Well,
whole
there's
different vibe.
there's somebody who know how to set the party off, and there's people like, what is you doing? What is you playing? Nah, you can't play. Get that person, get that boy off the turntable. No. Go
Mhm.
fix me a drink. Um, I mean that's what it is. So for me, I come from the authentic, but let me start diving in because I'm talking with y'all.
Let's
All
go.
right,
Let's
Okay.
go. Let's go.
they
We
got this
ready?
thing. They got this thing where they're saying the guest in hip hop.
Mm.
And I don't know if y'all heard about it, but they had this thing because of this guy Vlad,
I heard of
air
Vlad.
quotes, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mhm.
Yo,
and
Vlad,
and
wait. For those that don't
basically
know,
talking.
Vlad used to be a DJ, right? What did Vlad used to do? Was he a
He
DJ
still
or
claims he's a DJ. Yeah, he claims he's a DJ still. Honestly,
okay?
he's from the Bay Area. He's from like San Jose, Santa Clara area. But here's the thing. They're talking about white people being a guest in hip hop. So I think that your listeners get if you're on with Let's Chat, buckle up. Buckle up because it's gonna ride right now. The
Let's buckle up.
situation, the situation is this.
Okay.
So I lived overseas. Yeah, I lived in Europe. And
Mhm.
you get people who be like, well, what you think of Eminem? Well, what you think of Eminem? Eminem. Well, let me go into this. Eminem should be a good wordsmith, and he should be able to speak English well because his family, his generations of gene pool was never killed for reading books.
Oh,
Mhm.
okay.
So, saying that, can he speak well? Yeah. Can he rap?
Mhm.
Sure. But it's a
Mhm.
difference between what we do and what he do.
Mhm.
Mm,
What we do and what he do. There's a
Mhm.
certain swing to what we're talking amongst each other. That's not
mhm.
to badmouth Eminem.
That's
That's
right.
not to
Right.
badmouth any white people. That's
Mhm.
not to badmouth anyone who is not black.
It's
Mhm.
just to
That
say
is
it's
to
like,
say that there was a time frame when we were killed for talking amongst each other. So when we take it back to the early days of rap, when we go DMC or Run DMC, since kindergarten I acquired the knowledge, and after 12th grade I went straight to college. He's
Mhm.
bragging about being in school. He's
mhm.
Mhm.
bragging about I'm not some hoodlum on the corner
Mhm.
because anybody could do that.
Right.
Mm,
That was the conversation. That was the discussion back then.
Mhm.
Because the majority of a rap listener, i.e., who we're talking to, who am I talking to? Who they were talking to was somebody where the conversation was black and urban.
Mhm.
And it was
Mhm.
like, hey,
that's
you
right.
got to be educated. Anybody can talk about being on the corner and selling drugs. So that's where that came from as far as rap. As far as the dance thing, people start making money as far as
Mhm.
drugs. I don't think that it's so much as a California thing or a New York thing. I think that anywhere that you lived in America, in urban America, that you actually lived a similar life. So that I'm
Mhm.
not on a tangent. So I'm not
Right.
long winded. I say all that to say I was born in 1972 on the West Coast, California, the Bay Area. So I too am a visitor in hip hop.
That's right.
There's
Mhm.
nothing wrong with being a guest in hip hop. If you invite me in your home, I look at that as an honor and a privilege,
Mhm.
especially if your grandparents were racist and didn't want me in your home,
Mhm.
i.e., a whole lot of white folk, a whole lot of
Mhm.
Latinos who are claiming that they hip hop.
Mhm.
When it comes to that, y'all wasn't so hip hop back then. Your
Right.
Mhm.
family wasn't into what we were doing, but we've always been inclusive.
Right.
And let
Mhm.
me say this, let's talk a little bit of prison talk for a moment.
Okay.
Mhm.
When it comes down to black folk,
Mm,
we put ourselves on the line and we died. We died for every other race. Ain't no racist done put themselves on the line for us. When we talk,
Mhm.
when Malcolm and Martin Luther King were talking, they wasn't saying black, 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 black. They were saying human. We as human, there's a human thing to all of this. So
Mhm.
that I'm not on, so that I'm not on a tangent. That's hip hop. Hip hop sits up and gets you, no matter where you're from, it teaches you how to live within a struggle and appreciate the struggle and make the best of it to be the best you can be. You can't be nobody but yourself.
Right.
Mhm.
And don't let nobody make you feel bad for being yourself. And I'm going to give you an example. You guys have heard of this person named Old Dirty Bastard.
Yes.
I'm imagining you have at least.
Yes.
Well,
Oh,
Old
DB.
Dirty Bastard, his nickname, his nickname amongst his family was Rusty. Ever since he was a little boy, because he was rusty, he was dirty, even back when he was a
Mhm.
little boy.
Mhm.
Well, what hip hop does, or what black culture does, is we'll sit up and cap on you, or do the dozens, or charge on you. I don't know. They got a bunch of different names for different
Things for
reasons,
now.
but
Right.
they
Mhm.
talk about you until either you fix the problem or you accept the problem and embrace it.
Mhm.
Oh, Dirty embraced it,
That's right.
and
Mhm.
that became his character. Well, that's the same thing with hip hop overall. You're dancing, you're rhyming, you're DJing, you, your
Mhm.
style. There's only one you.
That's right.
Mhm.
Style is originality is the key to all forms of rocking. And so that's the whole thing. How you rock your hairdo, baby. That's you. How you
Right.
rock
Mhm.
your glasses, how you prep yourself. That's you.
Mhm.
They have this whole thing of, the South. They have this West Coast. They got the East Coast. They got, the Midwest, blah, blah, river, whatever. No, we
Mhm.
all human beings. And when it all gets down to it, the more and more you know about yourself, the more and more I learn about me, because we're all one.
That's right.
So the Zulu Nation tried to push people to learn about themselves. If you're really going to be hip hop, the best thing you can do is learn who you are and
That's
see
right.
what
Mhm.
you bring to the table. But as you do that, if I'm really truly paying attention to you, I'm learning about myself, because we're all reflective of the light, i.e., one nation under a groove, as
But it sounds like
George Clinton pops
it
would
sounds like
say. I call George pops.
Absolutely. We're gonna say happy birthday to George Clinton because I believe his birthday was yesterday
Mhm.
or the
But it
day before
sounds
yesterday.
like what you're saying. I think it
Well,
was Leash,
yeah,
but
George. Yeah,
it sounds like what you're saying is that there's a distinction
I
that needs to be
apologize.
respected. What you're saying is that there's a distinction that needs to be respected amongst the mass is what I'm getting from you. You know,
When it comes
can you
down to
hear
hip
me?
hop.
Well, yeah,
Right.
I think that when you rock, I think when you rock your last name, yeah, you're born into your last name. You have a
Mhm.
legacy,
Mhm.
and you don't per se, you got issues with your family or whatever, but you yourself wear your name with
Right.
pride. You say, hey,
Right.
this is what I'm bringing. And because we stand on the shoulders of those who come before us. And if
Right.
we
Mhm.
don't respect those who come before us, then we simply are stepping on them.
That's right.
Mhm.
There's a difference between standing on shoulders and stepping on people.
That's right.
Right.
And I think that, the buffoonery coonery of of the image of hip hop is something that is frankly, to be honest, it's marketable. It's marketable.
Now I have a
And
question.
I'm not gonna badmouth some
Mhm.
kids and whatnot. They don't really talk to me. If you're using
Mhm.
drugs and you're sitting up babbling and whatnot, and you sound like a dope fiend, of course you're not talking to me. You're talking to other dope fiends. And the
I
only
can
thing I
relate.
can talk to you about is what kind of drug you trying to buy, and I'm trying to get some cash. That's it. That's the language, and that's why rap goes along where it is. But they say hip hop because it's mostly urban areas, and all these suburban white kids are excited with what we do. We make
Mhm.
we make poor and nothing look incredible.
Right.
Who the hell wants? I mean, really, ghetto wise, who the hell want to put some water on cereal? Who the hell was happy with uh with government cheese? But
Right.
when you live through it, you be like, ooh, I sure used to make some great grilled cheese sandwiches. And that bologna, that thick old bologna and salami with the big old bubble in the middle and whatnot. And then see, we take and make things fun out of nothing. That's
Absolutely.
Mhm.
what black people, i.e. hip hop, does.
Mhm.
And
Absolutely.
there was a time frame when it first came out because we were the children of disco, where society, let me be very very clear, society, not just white people, there was old black folk who used to be like, oh, that old stuff that ain't gonna last no time, and y'all just spinning on your heads, and that boom the music and stuff. It's cool because now it's $1 billion industry and
It
it's
is.
recognized around the world.
Absolutely.
Well,
Mhm.
at one point in time, we had a moniker of hip hop don't stop. Well, we needed everybody who
Mhm.
was hip hop. We needed Atlanta, we needed Miami, we needed over in Detroit. We needed everywhere. Every region had to pull together to support. And
Right.
back then, there wasn't no gangster rap. It was rap. Either you can rap or you
Mhm.
can't rap. And
Mhm.
so we were all one. But not only was it into the rap thing, everybody was into the dance. I
Right.
mean,
Mm.
girlfriend, Miss Tony, let me tell you something, girlfriend. There's something to where if I start doing the prep, you know, or if I start doing the gas to the cabbage patch, or if I start smurfing it up, man,
But but I got a
there
question
was a
for you.
time frame
I
where
got a
we
Uh-huh.
did party dances, not
absolutely.
only doing the break popping dances and whatnot, or locking dances. And trust me,
Mhm.
girlfriend, man, look, I ain't trying to hate on.
Oh no, did we lose him?
I don't know. I think
He was
he over
getting ready to
there.
get into it.
He was about to get into it, wasn't he? But I mean, that's true. A lot of things that he was saying is true. And I want to
Mhm.
ask him some questions because I know that a lot of people in the music industry find it easier to have their music across overseas. And like he was saying,
Mhm.
he went overseas. He stayed in Europe to create his album, and so it's a whole different feel when you come outside of the
Mhm.
states. So he's gonna pop
Mhm.
back in, and we're gonna talk that talk with them. Hey,
Mhm.
Teresa B. Howe. Hey, Michael Archie. Hey, Chicky. Hey, Yolanda Preston. How y'all doing? We are talking that talk. We are getting a hip hop revelation on today from Bay Area rapper Boss One. He is back in the chat room
And
with
he's
us.
back.
Now,
Sorry,
that's okay. I got a question for you though,
go
because
ahead.
a lot of people feel that it's easier to take your music over to the UK, over to Europe, and then come back
Mhm.
this way with it. Talk about that process and why they feel that it is important to um, go that route when trying to get their music out.
I think that one is that the UK speaks English, and it's something new as far as the ghetto. At one point in life, yeah, that was the move or whatever. What a lot of people don't know is Africa Islam, whom is first generation Zulu Nation, originally from the Bronx, New York, but he actually was one of the forefathers of West Coast. He was part of the Rhyme Syndicate, which was the first Zulu Nation chapter in California with
Mm-hmm.
Ice T, and so he moved
Uh-oh.
the people where they got it. So you had people like the Cookie Crew, you had like the London All Stars as far as breaking All Stars. You had the Twilight Poppers and whatnot. You had Jeffrey Daniels from Shalimar, who was a
Mm-hmm.
popper. And so the culture slipped in over there, but it started growing and growing. And just like that culture grew, so did the crack epidemic. And as the crack
Mm-hmm.
epidemic came, they wanted to learn the language. Remember, I talked about the actual converse or discussion, the rap,
Mhm.
yeah, who we're
Mm-hmm.
talking to. Well,
Right.
let's really get into the nuts and bolts of it. There are people who will talk bad on the crack era, but what ended up happening during the crack era was it became exciting. As
Mm.
stupid as it sounds, when we be on the block, man, that stuff was exciting getting shot at. Man, I lived through that. I'm making money, it's real fast life,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
but you're in the moment. You're in the experience of life. Well, the
Right.
experience of life for the UK or for London, because the UK is the United Kingdom. It's not just London.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they were very, very intrigued, as well as they were starting to get crack, cocaine, but they
Mm.
would call it stones. And
Really?
so their language was a bit different, and they were trying to learn. But let's keep it 100. Let's keep it funky for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Um, when there's a new boy in your area, you know it's a new boy in your area because you ain't seen him before, and his style is different, and he kind of intrigue you. You like, ooh,
Mm-hmm.
or you girls get to talk and be like, ooh, yeah, who is he? What's up with him? You know,
It goes both ways, Pastor. It goes both ways
Right,
now.
right,
Come on.
right.
I ain't gonna lie, you exactly right. It do. But that's what was going on with England, because
Okay.
people would go out there and migrate out there, and the money actually is better. The
Mm-hmm.
pound pounds a dollar. Trust me on that.
Mm-hmm.
Per every $1 that you get, I want to say it's like $2.40 to £1. So
Mm-hmm.
that's part of it, as far as the economics, as well as the speech, as well as the environment thing. Why they think that it would be easier to get it out in Europe or in the UK, then work their way back in. Um, I'm not going to say that that's not a bad way to start. Plus, early on, like the Sonics, as far as engineering, far better in the UK. Like a lot of the early stuff, Houdini and
Mm-hmm.
Malcolm McLaren and the Supreme Team show, they all recorded their stuff out in the European studios, and their equipment was a lot more advanced than ours, and so that created that sound, like your early Larry Smith, who did God bless the dead, Larry Smith did Run DMC as well as Houdini.
Mhm.
I have a
Absolutely.
question for you though, Beth. Do you think it's a reflection on the appreciation for the music or a distinction? I mean, that they have in the States. Do you think the people are more receptive to the music and appreciates it more?
I think that culturally, America doesn't appreciate anything that it has or that it gives birth to, because Black people are the people who give birth to it. And
Mm,
black people don't
that's
care about
interesting.
what they create. They create it and they move on. They're not tripping.
Mm, okay.
Whereas in the rest of the world sits up and goes, "Oh my God, this is phenomenal." If you
Right.
think about the sales of around the world, when you go around the
Mm-hmm.
world, you got places that have still existed since back in AD. You know, the Roman
Mm, okay.
Empire, the Colosseums.
Mm-hmm.
You go and visit all these places, even with the wars that they've lived through, still exist as was. Well,
Mm-hmm.
let's look at America. America tear down things. I don't know, 5, 10 years, and they trying to make some new stuff.
Right. It's more.
Think
They're
about
more.
the high school
Yeah.
or the elementary school you went to.
So you,
Absolutely.
it feels
You
like they're
know,
more embracive of
at
their
the end of
history,
the
though.
day, I think that what in
I
yeah,
think they're
but I
more.
mean, see, if we look at history like it's not unobtainable, like we're
Mm-hmm.
not living it, you know, look at it like it's connected with us. Whereas then, with these people with appreciation, they recognize, no, 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 these people are living it. They're looking at it like there's no distinction between the Bible stories and somebody living that life, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas in with us, it seems to be a folklore.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas and we
Mm-hmm.
don't go, oh, we lived through this and we're still living through it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that that's what it is. So that I'm pinpointing. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be long-winded or be on a tangent. I think that, or I would surmise that you have more people who would be, you know, when it comes to the music, this is why I'm excited. I follow what they're doing. I appreciate it more. Whereas in, man, mama and grandma, I get that meal anytime. But when you got a guest coming over, they get to eat grandma and mama's cooking, and they family can't cook. They want to come over all the time.
Right. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Now I have a question for
I
you.
think that's the best way to. I think that's the closest way I could put it.
Absolutely. So we always talk about a go moment. And the go moment is when thought and execution comes together. Let's go back to that time you decided to enter into hip hop. You decided to enter into dance. How did you get involved in Styles Element? You can't hear me?
How did I get involved with dancing, or
With
how did I
Styles,
get involved with
with,
hip hop?
with Styles Elements.
It was breaking up a bit.
How did you get involved with Styles Elements?
I'm trying to understand the question.
So the a go moment is when
How did I
thought.
get involved with Style Elements?
Yes.
Here, you know what? I'm not really into technology, but I seem to know something like this. What are you saying? And I'm on the private chat thing right here, and so that way you can tell me what you're saying, and I'm communicating, and I got this phone gadget thing here, right? And you could text me. You see it saying having trouble connecting. Please check your internet connection. And so that's beyond my workings, the internet connection. But I see y'all right now, so you're back. Can you say that one more time, please? I'm sorry.
Absolutely. How did you become involved with Styles Elements?
Um, Great question. It was divine intervention. I was leaving from my great grandmother's house, Mother Dear.
Mhm.
I was on my way home. I wasn't supposed to even be on the train that I got on. And when I got on, something told me get on the train. And I just followed. And I got on the train, got off downtown. and then I walked a whole different direction than I was actually supposed to. And I
Mm.
came upon the corner, and a vehicle pulled up on me, a Blazer pulled up on me, and they were like, "Hey, where's the upper room?" And I was like, "Well, if you trust me, I'll get in the car with you and I'll ride with you and tell you how, because it's hard to explain." And when I was getting in the car, I saw the shirts or the sweater that they had. It had, aerosol right style writing on it,
Mhm.
and I was like, "Hold up, you guys are Style Elements?" And they were like, "Yeah, you heard of us?" And I was like, "Yeah, you just battled Housing Authority like a couple of weeks ago." And they were like, "Yeah." So as I'm sitting there in the back seat, we all introducing ourselves, and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm Boss Swan." They were like, "You're Boss Swan?" I was like, "Yeah." They were like, "Yeah, we heard of you." I was like, "You heard of me?" They were like, "Yeah, you work with Mystic Journeyman, and you did blah blah blah. You were at this and this show, and you were rapping." And I was like, "Yeah." And so we were on our way to the upper room where this guy AC Alone from Freestyle Fellowship and Abstract Rude was performing, and there's a kinship to that. That's why I mentioned it.
Mhm.
But that was in either late 96 or very, very early 97, previous to us winning Battle of the Year. We won. So there's a movie called Battle of the Year. But in the
Mhm.
movie, the Americans lost. Well, in real life, no, we didn't. We
Oh,
smacked them fools, and we changed the way that dancing happened around the world. And ironically, we won 97, and a group called Rock Force, which were our rivals, won in
Mhm.
98.
Okay.
Area that we're from in California. We're from the
Mhm.
Bay Area. As far as Style Elements, they would pretty much say that we're Central Valley known, like Modesto, Stockton, San Jose,
Mhm.
the Valley. The
mhm.
Valley
Right.
is closer to Northern California than Southern California,
Okay.
just so you all know. Um, but what we did was our style of dancing, we introduced house dancing vocabulary into breaking. So early on, what we were doing, they said wasn't really breaking. It
Mm.
wasn't traditional breaking.
Mhm.
And so over the years, people, appreciated us, and we were validated by the four, well, I can't say the forefathers, but the third generation practitioners whom got credited with you guys say what is what, i.e., the Crazy Legs of Rocksteady and the Ken Swifts and the Mr. Wiggles and Pop Master
Mhm.
Fables and
Mhm.
people like that. So they sat up and said, "Oh, they no, what they doing is it." And then the rest of the world was like, "Well, nah, what they doing is it, because they sure in the hell smacked us up lovely." And we ended up beating a crew called Southside Rockers.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Interesting.
Can you hear us? I think he froze. So
Well, I'm with
y'all,
him on that.
yeah, y'all are on Let's Chat Live. We are talking that talk with Bay Area rapper and producer and dancer, B-Boy, Boss One. He's given us a B-Boy history, a hip-hop
Mhm.
history, and a rap history. We're talking that talk with him on today. Now, tell us about your new album, because you got a new album that's coming out, or that's out.
I have a few different albums that I'm working. So one, the rap stuff, the rapidy rap stuff.
Mhm.
That stuff is actually, because quite honestly, I'm not enjoying the discussions of rap
Really?
nowadays.
Mm.
So
Mm-hmm.
that's the
Okay.
reason why I don't like rapping anymore. Um,
Mhm.
but I'm very well versed at it. I'm pretty good at it. I'm pretty okay.
I believe
So
you.
that being said, there's a project where there's a guy named Fanatic, and he happened to be one of the forefathers of a label called Stone's Throw with
Mm-hmm.
this guy named Peanut Butter Wolf. Maybe you guys have heard of Madlib or of Jay Dilla, and these people were,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so they were on Stone's Throw, but it was Fanatic doing this song called Unassisted that actually made the label, get noticed. And there was this other guy named Architect whom worked with a group called Homeless Derelicts and also Encore, but he did early Coolio stuff, like Coolio's first set of things that were solo after Coolio left from WC and the Mad Circle. Anyway, which is a hand-me-down name as well. The original Mad Circle was Hieroglyphics with Dale and Souls of Mischief and Kaz.
Oh, okay, I know Dale.
Anyway, that's another story. Anyway, Fanatic calls me up and he says, "You feel like getting rhymey?" And I'm like, "What you talking about?" He was like, "Let's just put out some stuff." And I'm like, I'm
Oh man,
Oh boy. They really took him out that time, Leash.
we was about to get a whole lesson. Yes, I know Dale the funky Homo sapien before he was Dale the funky Homo sapien. So yeah, so I love to be able to sit and listen to him talk about rap history, hip hop history, especially in the Bay Area.
Mm-hmm.
We're waiting to see if he's gonna pop back in so that we can close up a bit.
He is so full of history, Leash. Just listening to him, and
Mm-hmm.
he just expounds on it so easily, like he lived this, So it's
Yeah,
he gave us all a lesson tonight.
yeah. He actually teaches hip hop history class at the
Hmm.
colleges.
I can
So
see
yeah,
that.
he does awesome. He's awesome. He's very versed, very smart. We appreciate you coming to kick it with us here in the chat room. We want you to shout out all of your social media and let us know where everybody can get your album. Uh
I hope you
oh.
can hear us.
so I was saying, that's what it is, and it's spelled DATZWHUTITIZ. That's what it is.
Uh-huh.
You can get it on YouTube, on iMusic, Apple Music, Tidal. I would recommend to people. This is just me. Go on YouTube.
Hmm.
Anything that you want to hear, check it out on YouTube first, and then do YouTube to MP3, and you can get it for free. I ain't tripping on it. Go ahead, and if you like what I'm doing, then go ahead and support and then buy it later. But as of
Hmm.
right now, just check it out and get my numbers up, and hopefully I'm talking to you. Hopefully you enjoy the or the discussion that I'm giving you.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
And then the other stuff is Barcelonia's funk, where it's electronic, and I didn't sample anything. Everything's played. I program. I've been making music, or rather beats, since 1983.
Wow.
Absolutely.
That's
Okay.
when I first start working on drum machines,
Hmm. Mm.
and
Well, you're
I
like a
first start
musical
tagging
historian.
and doing bubble letters like around about 81.
Hmm.
Absolutely. Well,
It's
Okay.
we so
hopefully I'm being heard.
we can hear
Oh
you.
yeah, we can
But
hear
like
you.
most rappers, I guess I like Oh, okay. I was gonna say, hopefully y'all can hear me because it'd be crazy to just talk to myself. But you know, they got that. So I talk to myself because I need someone to talk to. You know, and I guess the bottle. I haven't even picked up the bottle since I hit that one time earlier, and maybe it's just riding along, just riding along.
Oh my
I'm
goodness.
comfortable being me. I'm comfortable being me, but
Oh.
overall, I just would tell people, you know, to each one teach one,
Mhm.
and realize that there is a beauty to being black. We survived what no one else could, and let me get real for a second here. Well, not like I
Mhm.
wasn't real before, but um, when they sit up and tell you God don't give you more than you can handle,
That's right.
just think
Mhm.
about the fact of what our people have survived, and then ask
So.
yourself, could any other people survive it? Could any Asians survive it? Could any Latinos survive? I usually call them, you know, indigenous, you know, natives, meaning they're more Indian than Mexican. I know they don't want to be known like that, like they ain't never got conquered, but nigga, you got conquered too. You know, they got the white people done did you into Latin people. And you know, it just is what it is. But we survived it and we made it look, you know, real incredible. Imagine
Absolutely.
there's somebody like Jay-Z from Marcy Projects, Brooklyn,
Mm-hmm.
who's a part owner in the Madison Square Garden.
Absolutely.
See, this is where I put I don't just say ideas. I put it to walk so you can look back on it and you can have pride in whatever it
Mhm.
is that you're doing. As far as we need to be proud of what we do with hip hop culture. I might be
Mhm.
disappointed in the direction that it went to. Let me give you
Mhm.
an example of what I'm saying.
Well,
There was a
we don't have
album
we don't have time
some
for a
while.
whole we don't
Let
have
me
time
let
for
me
a
say
whole
it real
interview.
quick. No,
We
no,
don't
let
have
me say
time.
this real quick.
We
You'll get it.
got another guest that's waiting.
Well, put them in with me.
Well, he
No, I'm capping. Um, but I was gonna say, and I could go once you hear this. There was an album called "It Takes a Nation of Millions to Hold Us Back" by Public Enemy. Phenomenal
Mhm.
album, yeah. Most people will
Mhm.
say it's one of the greatest hip hop albums ever. Yeah. If you get that to a bunch of MAGA hat wearing people, they ain't gonna feel it because it's not talking to them. It's not
Mhm.
their kind of music. So
Right.
let's be very, very clear with the music that's going on right now. When you work 40, 80 hours a week and you tired,
Mhm.
you don't want to think. You don't want to be intelligent. You don't want somebody being like, "Hey, you gotta be a proud black." You want to go and get your apple teeny or your Patron on, and you want to let loose and be sexy and whatnot, and you want to enjoy yourself. You want to
Mhm.
enjoy life.
that's
And
right.
Right.
that's one of the things, again, that black people do more than anybody. We enjoy the experience of life in the
Mhm.
moment. While everybody else trying to enjoy it, we make it happen. And that's why God is real with us. I ain't saying
Mhm.
God ain't real with them. I don't know. But I could tell you we were the first people, and that's the reason why we don't sit up and smash on white people the way we could, is because they're our children. Now, just like your child do something wrong, you sit up and you're gonna correct them, but you still love them. So let's remember that, one, as black people, we create; two, that we love our creation. And I know I'm long winded, and hopefully, again, You peep out, that's what it is. Or you could get the Barcelona spunk. You could check out Style Elements. You could put it up on the Google machine or the little thing of majigging, my bobbin. I travel the world. I don't just be in California. Um, Out in Atlanta, I want to give shouts out to Honey Rockwell and my man Orko. Honey Rockwell has a dance studio, a dance academy. If you guys could peep that out, that would be great for your children. For your children, she teaches children too, and they are. If you're Jewish, shalom. They'll do bar mitzvahs and all that type of thing. Just spend your money. Spend your money.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. We really
I
appreciate it,
appreciate
and
you
we
guys'
also
show. I know
appreciate
I
the
get to
history.
running my mouth and dominating. I'm sorry.
Well, we so appreciate the hip hop history
Yeah.
lesson, the
I
Bay Area
mean,
history lesson you've
know
given
that
us.
history is reflective of today.
Hmm. Well, thank you once again for
I'm
joining us,
trying to
guys.
hear. It was.
That's all
You
right.
said Johnny did what?
No, we said thank you for joining us. We do appreciate
You
you
said
coming
that's all right.
with us in the chat room. You know you're welcome back anytime. We want to thank you for our intro song. We appreciate anytime we ask you for a beat that you do that for us, and we thank you. We appreciate you. You know I love
Thank
you,
you.
and I will see you
And
soon.
nice to
I
meet
love you
you.
more, little sis. Yeah, we gonna have to get some bread in. She talking about she don't know how to make monkey bread. Yeah, that's how I get women because I know how to cook. Hello.
We hear you.
All right, bro. Well, we will talk to you
All
soon.
right. God bless
Okay,
y'all.
bye.
Have a
Thank
good
you
one, and
too.
I appreciate that y'all let me on. Thank you so much.
All
You're
right.
God
welcome.
bless all y'all, and realize that you matter. All of you matter, not just poor folk who are getting shot at the moment. Even before you get shot and you poor, you matter.
Absolutely. We thank you for coming
One
to kick
love.
it with us. We appreciate you. Talk to you soon. So that was for those just tuning in. That was my brother. My brother is really dope in real life, y'all. He's a Bay Area rapper and producer. He gave us a whole Bay Area hip hop and b-boy dance lesson. So we were able to
Hmm.
get that history and learn about just the history of rap and hip hop just in general. So we do appreciate him coming to kick it with us and share that information with us. Because, we do have to know where we came from, and hip hop is the culture. So speaking of hip
Right.
hop and culture and rap, we have our next fabulous guest. I say mega producer, Urban EP Pope. Y'all, he's not just a producer though. He has a fabulous ear for music, and he has a fabulous jazz album that's getting ready to come out. So I'm
Hmm.
excited. Not only does he have a whole music history that he can teach us as well, he has music to go with it. Hey E,
Hey,
Hey, EP.
how you doing? What's up,
how
Tony?
are
I
you?
don't think I've met you before,
Hey,
Tony. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm finally so happy to meet you.
Man, how did I get lucky to get two pretty hosts?
Ciao.
Hosts. Hey,
So
Ciao. What can we say?
listen, that new song you got, loving it. We know we play break off
Yes,
of that thing. So
I'm
that
glad you
we
dance
picked it
love
out.
floor,
it.
Thank you so much. I got plenty more coming where that came from.
absolutely. So we want to go back. Tell us about your journey into music and producing.
My journey. I come from a musical family.
Hmm.
I had a piano. I was fortunate enough to have a piano placed in my project unit. Um,
Hmm.
as early as 9 years old. My uncle bought us a
Mm.
piano. It
Hmm.
was six kids, in hopes that one of I picked it up,
Oh no.
and
Hmm.
he saw the hidden talent and invested in me and put me in private lessons. So shout out to
Mm.
my uncle, and I began to play at his church. He's a pastor. He's retiring this week
Hmm.
actually. Um,
Really?
Really?
Yeah, exactly. So he's the reason I give him all the credit, or God the credit, but him for following his passion into pouring back into us. And it started there. So I started playing for the church, and then from playing for the church, I got a chance to play B3 organ for Ben Harper in 1995. That was my first ever studio experience, and from that I fell in love with it, and started doing a lot of musician sessions for Dr. Dre's label, a couple other labels, and then from that I met other producers, and I wanted to produce, not just play keys, and everything was word of mouth. And if I saw you and I know you were into music or you was an artist, I'd approach you, and I was ready. So I was waiting for the opportunity and was able to get one placement on Snoop in 2001, and the rest was history. Once you have something to reference, somebody could, oh, you work with Snoop, and then everybody else would listen. But before that, it was rough getting somebody to just stop and take a listen, because everybody does music in LA,
Absolutely.
Right.
But
So
you were able not only to work with Snoop and but you've worked with Jay-Z and Kanye as well. Tell us about how you started working with Kanye and Jay-Z.
Well, Kanye came from a session. Like I said, I was working for Aftermath. I was doing a lot of keyboard musician sessions, and Angelo Sanders was a A&R for Dr. Dre's label, who called me one day and was like, "Look, I got a producer in town from Chicago. Can you just go over there? It's last minute." I was like, I was on my way somewhere. I didn't really want to do it, but he's been getting me section after section. So all right, I'll do it. So I went over there and I did the session and produced a couple songs. Well, played keys on a couple songs, and then that producer from Chicago turned out to be Kanye West.
Absolutely.
So then from that, I worked with Kanye from that section 3 consecutive years. So we worked with everybody. We worked with everybody so this was before his accident, before he had the notoriety that thrusted him into the atmosphere. So from that, worked with Jay-Z, Selena Johnson, Janet Jackson, Brandy, and a host of others, just from that one session.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Now I want to go back. We always talk about a go moment here, and your go moment is when thought and execution come together. Most of the time, it is something that you think about, but you don't do. You don't make a move on. You always find ways to talk yourself out of it. We're very mindful about how we speak to other people and how we speak on other people, and we are less mindful about how we speak into ourselves. We tend to give ourselves excuses on why we can't really do something once God has placed something in our belly. So I want to go back to when you decided to sit down and create your first jazz album. What was that go moment like for you?
That go moment, I remember it like it was yesterday. I was frustrated with some of the producers that I was working for. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to do something that you can't do. Like, you hire me to play keys and you put a ceiling on my ability. I'm going to walk away and I'm going to do something that you can't. And it was just as simple as that. And then I put it out and I got an overwhelming response. And I've been putting it out ever since.
Absolutely. Wow. Now you and the Furnace Band also go on tour with The Game. So how did that come about? And are you able to, because you do a little DJing too, I saw, I saw the vibe, I saw you out there. So how did that come about when you started working and touring with The Game?
Well, The Game, it also spawned from a Kanye session. Like,
oh, wow.
I worked on Game's very first album, the documentary. I played the keys on Dreams, the little violin line, and I was in the session. And at that time, like, when Kanye would go out the room, I'd be like, look, man, I'll slide the artist a CD and like, look, I don't only play keys, I produce too. So I wasn't that fortunate to land something on that album, but his very next album, I ended up producing the intro for that. Looking at You was a very, very big song. Everybody thought Dr. Dre produced it. So that's how well it was produced.
Wow.
I'm grateful for that. And then from that, his next album, I ended up co-executive producing that album and touching almost every song on that album, whether it's producing or adding and just giving it one big hug and making it feel like one cohesive piece of work. So from that, I just had a relationship with him. And then when it came time for him to do his, I think it was his 10-year anniversary, he wanted to do it with a band. So he called me like, can you put a band together for my 10-year anniversary? And put it together, and that night was magical. And ever since then, he didn't want to do another show without a band. So I would say 95% of his shows since that date, he's had us play. So
absolutely. And y'all, I will say, I love creatives, and I love to be able to experience creativity. This man is in the studio 24 hours a day, but to watch him create and to watch him help other people bring out better creativity in themselves is a real awesome thing. Just to be able to see him work. How do you balance everything though? Because you do a lot. How do you balance that and still keep yourself level?
I'm gonna tell you how I balance everything is passion and purpose. I know my passion and I know my purpose. So it doesn't feel like it's work and it's fun. I can't wait to get in here. And it never gets boring because once I get tired of R&B, it's time to do hip hop. Once I'm tired of hip hop, it's time to do jazz. Once I'm tired of that, it's time to go to church, choir rehearsal. I'm playing different styles of music, and I'm fortunate enough to travel all around the world, doing what I love. You know what I mean? And touching the fans, and not only in the walls. Like my whole life is surrounded with music, and it took a while to get here. And just what helped me is knowing my passion early on, so it allowed me to work on it from my adolescent years into now. So I don't feel like I work a day in my life. I had the best job in the world. I love what I do. I feel like I'm pretty good at what I do, and I'm able to exercise all my abilities in one craft.
Absolutely.
That's so true, EP. And with that being said, you work with some really great artists. What is your most favorite part about getting new material out to the different and various artists that you work with? What's the best part of getting music out to them?
Well, the best part is building a relationship with them, because like I'm not in the industry just to sell music. Like I like stories. I like connection. Like one of my favorite, and it might be the favorite, is like I'm a very big Scarface fan. So growing up, I was a Scarface fan. So when I finally got the ability, I got the opportunity to meet him over the phone, and he was like, "Forget this phone, just forget this three-way call. Just take my number, put my number in your phone, call me." And from that moment, I kept calling him. I was really a fan, but I couldn't really show that I was a fan. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that fan, it turned into a friendship, which turned into a project, because Scarface didn't want to rap no more the time that we became friends. And he was done with rap, and I convinced him to, "Man, you're dope. That song is dope. Let's do it." And then he's like, "Man, I ain't got no money to do that." That's like, "Look, don't worry. I didn't ask you about no money. Just let me run the whole project." Because I was into creating the best body of work that I could. And that's coming from Game's album. Now, if I was able to land Scarface after Game and co-executive produce that and make that, that's another feather in my cap. You know what I mean?
Right.
I was able to pull that off, and I say Scarface record because I got to exercise almost all of my abilities in one project. I wrote for that. I produced for it. I played on it. I played on other producers' songs and made that body of work. Again, I brought it to life. And to see that come from me being a fan to meeting you, to being your friend, to staying in your house, to really creating a bond. And for that to show in the music, I'm not just saying that to say it, but it reflects in the music if you have that chemistry,
that relationship.
And it's funny you say that, because I've had the pleasure of speaking to Twisted Black who is a Fort Worth rapper who actually did some music
Okay.
with Scarface, and he had the same experience where he talked about how really dope it is to work with him and experience him in the studio. Now,
Yeah.
Mhm.
when you go into the studio, you're off these two big things because you work intentionally. You intentionally
Mhm.
make certain moves to move your career where you need it to be.
Yeah.
So, what is the thing that you need when you are creating? Something that nobody knows that EP Pope needs every time he goes in that studio.
Um, I just need a good environment. If I have a good environment in my instruments, I'm good. I'm really easy to work with. I don't have no checklist that has to be uh, administered in order for me to work. It's just as long as the vibe is right, the people are good and friendly, and my well-being is in play. I'm good. I can work anywhere.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Now,
Mhm. Now,
I,
what do you some artists they and musical people they come and go. What do you contribute your longevity in the industry to? What do you contribute that to?
Again, I'm gonna have to say for one, God, and just
Mm,
another thing is people skills. It's all. A lot of people say, I don't care who likes me. I don't care. Well, you probably won't be working because, like, in order to get a
sure.
call back for somebody to feel comfortable, um, it's a relationship thing. It's respect. If you get the
Right.
yeah,
mutual
Mhm.
respect, um, people are gonna call you back. They're gonna like you. Be yourself. You know what I mean? I'm
Right.
myself.
Mhm.
I love what I do. I'm
Mhm.
not in the way. I'm not trying to fan out, and I'm not getting like.
Mhm.
Don't be messy. Just do
that's
your
right.
job
Sure.
and and be dope at what you do. Prepare for when you get there to be the dopest because you're in competition. No matter what you think, you're in competition with the hottest person out at the time. The hottest producers.
That's true.
I'm in competition with Swiss Beats, with Timberland, with Dr. Dre. No matter if
Mhm.
they're in my region or what, you got to make the dopest music. It's a
Mhm.
competitive game, and you got to be innovative, and that takes preparations behind the scene. Not I don't wait till I get to the studio to come up
Right.
with ideas or ways to be creative or to be different. You
Mhm.
got to implement that time, behind the scenes.
Now,
Right.
with COVID, I know that with COVID, you were coming off your tour with the game. How has COVID changed the industry through the eyes of the producer?
Well, I can fortunately say I'm not as affected as a lot of the other guys, um, simply because I have a deal in place with Strange Music, which is Tech 9, which is the #1 independent rapper in the world, and Strange is the #1 independent rap label in the world, and they're still moving. Like I have an artist signed over there that he signed to me, and I produced 100% of his albums. Like I just turned in 20 songs that his album comes out 9/11. So behind the scenes, I'm working every day on getting that stuff ready. So at the same
Mhm.
time, it's allowed me to sit down and focus on a couple of my projects that I was too busy to finish, like the jazz album. And then I have so much music now because I'm in a creative place that I have at least 2 other jazz albums ready right now.
Yo,
Mhm.
and that jazz album
Yeah,
is everything. I
I
have
appreciate
Mhm.
I have almost the whole. I think you sent me a lot. You sent me what 10 songs from the album.
you. Yeah, I sent you a lot. Yep.
So tell us about the new album. What can we expect from your keys? What are you going to bring to the
You
industry?
can expect the, the album is called Anomaly, and Anomaly is something left of what is normal or expected. So I am I'm big on titles. They have to mean something. So I'm giving you something that's a little left. I'm giving you something that's intentionally gonna make you like, is this jazz? I love it, but it don't sound traditional. Like, but I'm giving you
Mhm.
traditional at the same time. But it's a lot to choose from. So
Mhm.
my target is literally 8 to 80.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, it's some hip
Okay.
hop filled, it's some love songs, it's some vibes, it's some backyard domino records. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's just a
Mm-hmm.
good time. No boundaries.
That's awesome. Now I already told you I love the one that I have. I got to get the others. I already told you the one that I
Okay.
that I I love. What's your favorite on the album?
It's hard. That's hard. I have different
It's like
favorites
which
every
baby
week.
I
You know
love
what I mean?
most.
So if I had to, I would have to say dance floor.
Yeah, I love
Dance
dance floor.
floor.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah, dance floor. If I had to just pick one, it would be dance floor right now.
Right now. It may change tomorrow.
Right now. Yep.
Now, you also do a podcast too. Tell us a little bit about it.
I do a podcast called Spitting Policies. And Spitting Policies is a play on words meaning spitting game. Um, couple of my guests, I've known them for 30 to 40 years. We grew up
Really?
together. We overcome some things. We grew up in the hood. We've escaped some things. We feel like we have an obligation to give back and to reach back and try to help some of these youth avoid some of the things we've avoided and to learn from some of the things we were unfortunate enough to go through. So it's just a platform to talk about social issues, speaking our truth. We're not experts on a podcast, but we are experts on our experiences. So we just try to bring our experiences and be real, and hopefully we can change some of the things that we don't like or we complain about in our communities through our youth, and to try to be a an example to some women that may be single parents that are experiencing some things that in their kids that they have no idea who to talk to. So we try
Right.
to be a springboard, a sounding board for that as well.
Because you guys
Mm-hmm.
talk about
Mm-hmm.
everything. You talk about dating, relationships, just being men
Yeah,
in general. And that's a rare thing that you really find men just really sitting down and opening up about some of the struggles and things that they experience.
absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Now,
Yeah.
EP, if you could put together an album with four greats, be it alive or that has passed away, who would they be and why?
Alive would be Adele is one.
Adele. Okay.
It would be, yeah, I like Adele. It would be George Duke.
Mm.
Um, or George Duke, Adele. It'd be Teddy Riley. I'm a big Teddy Riley fan, and it would be
Okay.
Nat King Cole.
Oh, he said that.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
okay.
Yeah,
Mr. Music over
yeah,
there.
Hmm.
yeah. It'd be Nat King Cole.
Absolutely.
Now, tell us about plaques. How did plaques come about?
You did your research, huh? Hey, Flax came about. It was birthed during the COVID. I'm just sitting around thinking of like, how can I engage my fans socially, and at the same time give them, because like in Los Angeles, a lot of people know who I am, but a lot of people don't know who I am. So let me bridge that. It's time for me to start speaking on some of the stuff that I've been a part of,
Mm-hmm.
and at the same time inspiring somebody else. So
That's
I
right.
just sitting in my studio one day, I'm just looking around like, unfortunately, a lot of the way the music is being made nowadays, there's no stories behind it because we're just sending beats off to the artists. They record it, we like it, they put it on the album, and it's out. They don't have experiences where they go into the studio and they hang out with Jay, or they go in the studio and it's an experience with Janet Jackson, or you're talking and you're having conversations. So let me tell some of the stories about um, every one of these plaques that are in my studio. But not only that, I'm going to bring some special guests, and because to obtain one of these, it takes inspiration for somebody. So I just had Battle Cat come in, who I was heavily inspired by growing up. So And for him to take an interview and turn it around and tell me how he was inspired by me, it's already helping me, and I'm trying to help other people. So it just came from my idea to tell my truth, and at the same time bridge the gap between some of the generational gap when it comes to this music, and speak on some of the integrity that went into making some of these records.
Mm-hmm. How has that been received though? What's the reception on that?
Very, very well. I'm on the
Mm-hmm.
This week was the fourth week, and I'm getting
Mm-hmm.
more. They're getting more intense. I'm putting more production value into them, um, and I've also been reached. A couple people reached out to me that may be able to take it to higher heights. So I'm just continuing
Okay.
to make it a quality production.
Mm-hmm.
Everything I do, I want it to be quality. So, and we'll see. We'll
Mm-hmm.
see where it goes. At the end of the day, like um,
Well, listen,
the story matters.
well, listen,
Everybody don't have a story.
if you need some team players, listen, T and I are available to come and assist in the studio. We will carry your
That's right.
briefcase. We will carry your piano. If you need some water,
Good.
got
I
you.
wouldn't have you carry nothing. I wouldn't have you carry. You keep doing what you're doing and using your platform. I love it.
Absolutely. Now, if you had to think about all the things that you do, it's rain. I'm sorry, y'all. My Wi-Fi a little funky because it's raining here in Georgia. If you had to think about all the things that you had to do, what would be the most memorable experience that you have had?
One of the most memorable. It's hard to pinpoint to one, but it would have to be traveling the world, doing like staying in the best hotels, in the traveling the world, seeing parts of the country that you never imagined you're gonna. I mean, parts of the world that you're gonna ever experience, and
Mm-hmm.
the way that fans across seas know your stuff, know who you are, and you're just thrown off. Like, so that to know you're connecting with people across the world who don't even
Mm-hmm.
speak English, it has to be one of the most memorable things that I've ever experienced.
Mm-hmm. With that being said, EP, you have such a love of music and such
Mhm.
so diverse. How do you keep your music authentically you?
By not being overly consumed with what's going on
Mm-hmm.
musically in the world. I don't listen to too
Mm-hmm.
much radio, but I listen to enough radio or cable, just staying tapped into the culture so I have my thumb on the pulse, but not being
Mm-hmm.
over consumed to where it's subliminally being transcribed through my music, and
Mm.
purposely adding things that I know that they're not adding. Like you'll never songs will never die if they have live musicians on. So
Absolutely.
Mm.
I infuse it in almost everything that I do musically.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Absolutely. And who's been your biggest support system through your career?
My family, hands down, my
Mm-hmm.
family, my sisters, my brothers, my mom, and my whole family is very supportive. So they're my real friends. So I don't have to go far to to
Had that
go through ups and
experience?
downs with people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
With people
Mm-hmm.
that aren't really my friends.
Mm-hmm.
So
And that's
Absolutely.
so
I have the love,
important.
so I'm
It's
loved. So I love to get back.
Absolutely.
mm-hmm.
Now, you got people on here that may want to be producers. They may want to go into the rap industry or the music industry. They could be looking for a producer or anything of that nature. I want you to drop 5 jewels on someone that wants to enter into the industry, and 5 jewels
Okay.
on those that are in the industry, but they need to pick a producer, um, and making sure that they
Producer
pick the
jewel.
right one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. First jewel will be never quit. If if you quit or think about quitting, this is probably not for you. Um, Number two was study, learn the business. You have no excuses no more. There's no excuse about somebody did me or they took my publishing or they did this. You got the internet. Everything is in your hand. You on
That's
the
right.
phone all day on Instagram and your social media. Go Google contracts, Google publishing, Google what a point is, what a split is. Know the business. Number three would be start a relationship with an attorney, with a entertainment lawyer, because oftentimes when we're presented with an opportunity, it's like this. And if you don't even know an attorney, it's going to be hard. You're going to be more apt to just sign that paperwork because you don't want to miss the opportunity. So if you already having conversations with attorneys and knowing what they do, and that's half the battle. Is that number 4 or 3?
That was 3.
And maybe.
Okay, number 4 would be have a different conversation in your music. Like if everybody is making songs with 808s, add a little bit something that's different to it that's going to make you a little more distinctive. Because radio is one long song right now. That's all it is.
Yeah.
You can't tell me to do stuff.
That's true.
You know, create your own sound. Try different things. Do that. And when you stand out, just know once you become popular, they're gonna follow you. They're gonna jump on that train and take that from you. So always just get used to reinventing yourself and playing with different sounds. And don't be afraid to be different, because being different, it takes longer to be successful, but you'll sustain it a lot longer than somebody who's sounding like the next person. Number 5,
be yourself.
Absolutely be yourself, and tell the truth, especially when you're, because you're gonna do interviews. If you attain any kind of success, you're gonna do an interview, and it's not easy to remember the truth. I mean, it's not.
Some people have problems doing that.
Yeah, but if you start off not being who you really are, you're gonna have a long career, and it's gonna be mundane, and
it's not gonna be.
Some people actually lose their mind because they're pretending to be something that they're not.
That's right.
And they can't keep up with it.
Being yourself is cool. And you look at it like that, and if you lose an opportunity because you're yourself, that opportunity wasn't for you anyway.
Absolutely.
True.
Absolutely. Now, when can we expect this here album now? You know, we got people like, where's that song at? I'm like, it ain't out yet. You know, at me like that.
You know what? What I might do is, and to be honest, like I've had an issue with, and it may be due to COVID, I've had an issue with the guy that does my mastering. Like I've been waiting to get that back, and that's partially it. The second half is I've been kind of trying to wait for this COVID thing to die down a little bit, because I do want to have a listening. You know what I mean? A listening event. But at the end of the day, I got to put it out, because I'm making too much great music right now that I'm getting inundated with it, and music has to live. I'm a firm believer in that now. I can't sit on it no more.
I mean, can you put
like
out
that?
A single?
I need to let y'all have it. Huh?
Can you put out a single? You know how sometimes before the album come out, they put out a little something just to tide people over until, or maybe a single come out, and you let that hit for a minute. You ever thought about maybe just putting out a single, letting that hit for a minute until the album is ready?
You know what? Not even a single. I'm gonna release 3 songs.
Okay.
You know which 3?
I'll release 3 songs. Yeah, I'll give you 3.
Oh, we want to know what 3. Look, we want to know what 3.
I can't even tell you that. I know Dance Floor will be one of them.
Okay, good. That's my favorite.
That's mine too.
That's awesome.
Maybe a Anomaly, maybe another one, and I'll think of something else that's dope too. But try to give you 3 different
Whichever one.
textures in that one EP.
All right,
Whichever
all
one you feeling that day.
Yep, yep, yep.
Now, and if you say you want to do a listening session, you are all about thinking outside of the box. You can always do a live listening session. People are doing
We'll be
it
there.
every day. Listen, we can go on Instagram at 5 o'clock. Listen to John Legend give us a little concert. We got verses going on. So listen, you can definitely do a virtual listening.
We'll be there. We'll
Hey,
be there.
Really
that's
there.
what I'm doing. So my goal with that is for you to like it, and as you're giving me the feedback, you like it. So you feel like I want you to feel like you're a part of the journey. Look, I remember that song. I remember he was making that song because that's the difference in somebody downloading your music or stealing your music.
True.
You know,
So true.
so come along. I'm not afraid of nobody's reproducing nothing because like music is an idea. And I know that I'm in a great place because I get to be a part of something that's going to leave something on this earth forever after I'm gone. It's not too many people have that. So I take this very serious, and I need to let this live because who knows what tomorrow's going to bring.
That's
So you
right.
just got to get out.
That's that time. That's that timeless music. That timeless music just lives forever. You know.
Well, we so appreciate you coming to kick it with us in the chat room. I know I see the yellow wall, so I know you are in the studio. About to get your
As we speak.
I know, y'all. Listen, this man be in the studio 24 hours a day. We how you hear about it, but then you actually see it. He is in the studio all day, but he works hard.
Matter of fact, I'm looking for a clock with 13 on it because I need another hour.
But yeah, he is so awesome just to watch him create and to watch him make music, and when he has the different drummers or pianists or guitar players come in, how to watch them vibe back and forth, and how you just kind of pull things out of them. It's really awesome to really watch. So I appreciate you. And always showing us love. We can't wait for the album to come out. You are welcome back anytime. We want you to shout out all of your social media where anybody can catch Urban P. Pope. We know you don't have a release date yet for the album, but tell us about your Pandora.
Okay, also have a Pandora station, a Pandora Jazz station. It is Urban Pope Radio, ERVINPOPE Radio. You can find me on Instagram at EP Music. You can find me on Instagram. My band page is The Furnace Band. It's at The Furnace Band. I also have this entertainment page. It's at The Furnace ENT. Facebook, I am Facebook / or backwards, like one of the slashes. Urban Pope, really easy to find. Twitter is EP Music 101. So try to keep it consistent, and I'm always sharing. Hit me up, follow me, like, let me know what you want to hear. I try to honor some requests, but hopefully we can vibe together.
Absolutely. And if somebody wants to work with EP Pope, what would they have to do? What's needed?
They would have to be willing to invest in themselves. They would have to be really good. And they would have to be consistent. And consistency is the biggest thing for me. A lot of people say they want to do it, but they make excuses of why they can't. Excuses. When I go through something in my life, it makes me run to the music because I'm investing in tomorrow.
That's
I'm
right.
not just gonna sit down like this because I went through something. Something is gonna come out of like what I do today may pay off 4 to 5 months from now. I don't know. So it's a constant reinvest every single day. Who knows what's going to come out?
Constant revolving, evolution. So
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So what they got to do is they got to reach out, let you know.
okay.
Y'all heard that. Y'all heard that. Don't call him if you ain't trying to work. So if
That's
you're not
right.
trying
Be
to
real.
work, then you just stay at home.
And yeah, exactly. And I posted something yesterday. I think yesterday. I'm just tell you what it says, because just so I'm not saying it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And this is so true. If you're not willing to invest in yourself, please don't ask me to.
That's right.
There you go.
I actually reposted that.
It's that simple.
I stole your post and reposted it.
It's all good. It's meant to be shared. You're supposed to. Yeah.
Well, we
That's
so
awesome.
appreciate you coming to
So
kick
that's simple.
in the chat room. Thank you for always sharing your
Have me back.
You gotta come back, EP.
Now, when you come back next time, we gonna have.
Back anytime.
When you come back next time, we're gonna have a whole topic. So don't be coming out here acting all Hollywood like, I'm sorry, I can't talk about that, because we're gonna be having a whole topic and you're gonna be like, what the heck is going on?
Bring them. Bring it on. Remember what I told you. If you tell the truth, it's hard. You tell the truth, I ain't gotta remember nothing.
That's right. That's right.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, it was such a pleasure. It was such a pleasure to meet you, EP. Finally, I get to see you. Vice versa. So
Pleasure is mine. Pleasure is mine.
And definitely come back.
Thank you guys for providing a platform for us to and come and share our art. I appreciate it. You don't have to appreciate what I do, and I appreciate you for appreciating me.
Absolutely. And we thank you for never telling us no. You absolutely never tell me no. If you out of town, you say I'm out of town, but I could do it on this day. And I thank you for always just being there and supporting us and our platform. So, we are always here for you. You want us to play some of your music, you love to listen to it. We are here to support you. And we appreciate you. And we thank you for coming to kick it with us on today in the chat room.
Thank you very much. I'll talk to y'all later.
Okay.
Have a good night.
Okay. Take care.
You too.
You too.
My screen is so funny, y'all. It's like really, y'all see, I'm trying to get the light going. It's raining outside. This has just been a day, but it's been a great day because we had, two great guests come and kick it with us today in the chat room. We appreciate everybody that always supports us here on Let's Chat. Make sure y'all head over to iHeartRadio. Y'all can check us on Spreaker, on Spotify, on iTunes, Blog Talk Radio. Make sure y'all check out our archives. We appreciate our archives. They've been popping lately. Shout out to everyone across the water in the UK that's listening to our station. South America, listening to our station, Canada, Russia. We thank you guys for rocking with us and being consistent in our journey. We thank you guys. We will see y'all tomorrow. We're going to have some authors up in here, honey. It's going to be going down. The night table is going to be here tomorrow. And they're going to be talk about books. Y'all, listen. These covers, y'all know me and Tia book bougie. These covers are everything. They are clean, crisp. They are everything. And we're going to have them in tomorrow. So I'm excited. Tomorrow we're going to have, I don't know, I call her Kai because I can't pronounce her first name. And two other authors are going to be in with her. And then we actually have all of her authors, about 30 of them. They're going to be kicking in with us in the month of August. So I'm excited. We have a lot going on in the chat room. On my wall, I just want to leave you guys a little bit to think about. Because a lot of times, especially in the age of COVID, we never think about tomorrow. We don't think about
Mhm.
preparing our families for when we are not going to be around. You know, I
Mhm.
always talk about when my mother passed and she wanted to talk about it. I didn't want to talk about it. Listen, if you have a family member, a parent that wants to talk about their final hour when they want to give you instructions, listen. If you are a parent and
Mhm.
you haven't thought about a will, you haven't thought about life insurance, in the day of COVID, I just watched a lady, I think on CNN, lost both of her
Mhm.
kids in one weekend. You know,
Wow.
to the COVID virus. So this is serious. You guys go out, wear your mask. Wear your mask. No, you can't breathe because I can't breathe either. It's hot up in them,
Mhm.
but you know, and it doesn't keep us completely safe, but it does help us in that effort of being safe. And then pray for
Right.
these families that are still going through it. We have cities that are still protesting. Just pray for the country and all the things that
Mhm.
we have going on. Make sure that you start getting your own business in order so that you can think about your intent that you have for your family and the impact you want to leave once you leave.
Mhm.
You physically leave this world. So always just think about that because it's very important. So much going on, and you never know, tomorrow is not promised, and you don't want
That's
to
right.
leave your family with that grieving period. But at the same time, now they have to handle that final life business. That's hard.
Mhm.
That's hard, and a
It
lot
is
of
hard,
times you're taken advantage
and
of by
right. And if we all, it's so true, Leash. And if we all can do our own small part, it can make something so much better.
Mhm.
Just it doesn't take a lot. Just do your part, what you can do, and it'll make a world of a difference.
Absolutely, and you don't have to get a big old policy. Everybody want a big old policy. Listen, if you just make sure you could be buried and nobody has to put
That's
out any
right.
money, that's enough. You know, that's at minimum. Your family will appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? They will appreciate
That's a
that.
lot, Leash. That alone is making a big will make a big
It
difference.
is. It is. It is. So we just want to leave
Mhm.
that with you guys in this day and age, especially with this COVID. It's very important. Tomorrow is not promised, and making sure that you are preparing yourself and preparing your families. Um,
Mhm.
it's a big thing, and it's very needed at this time. We take you
It
guys,
is.
appreciate you guys, and we see you guys tomorrow night.
Have a good night.